Open Up Africa. Thoughts, ideas, real discussions by the youth on Open Up Africa.
Welcome again to another episode of Open Up Africa. Today, I'm very excited about what we are going to discuss.
Oh, you are?
It's a very typical issue affecting society. And I'm Andrew, and I'm joined by Liz and Arafat. Arafat is a bit down because of the topic, but we'll see what he has to say. He came dragging his feet. And today the topic is gender-based violence is a common global issue, mostly affecting women. Why is it still on the rise, even during the modern times? Are couples missing out something? Join us in this discussion as we delve more into gender-based violence. Arafat, how would you break that down? Gender-based violence.
Actually, gender-based violence, which is GBV, mostly known as GBV, is any violence directed to someone or a person because of his or her gender, you know, because of his nature, his makeup, his or her makeup.
Okay.
For instance, and actually, it's mostly happens to be, it impacts mostly women. Because women and girls, they're the ones that are experiencing high levels of GBV, a bit in Rwanda and also in Africa. Globally. It usually affects women. But now in this, I think if we are to talk about it well, we also have to consider men, because we are not saying that men are don't also experience that, because I believe they do experience it. Yes, of course. What we know is that it mostly affects women. That's what I can say now.
So yeah, there are different examples of gender-based violence. First of all, there is child marriage, which I think is common in, I'm not sure where, but we've seen many scenarios of kids being forced into marriages that they're not even ready for. Secondly, there is female genital mutilation. There is trafficking for sex or slavery.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah. So there is intimate partner violence, which is definitely happening between
couples.
Partners. There is physical punishment.
Okay.
There is sexual, emotional, and psychological violence. Yes, COVID.
Actually,
situation.
yes, COVID-19 has made it more worse, because when you look at, because like recently I heard of, I was talking to one family somewhere in Kigali, and they told me that there's a girl I was discussing with, and she told me that she used to live with her uncle at home with the parents and other family members.
Oh, and the uncle too.
But when they went into the lockdown, you know, when the lockdown came, schools were shut down, and as you know, students went back home. So this uncle, when they went back home, he always tried to abuse her.
Sexually?
Sexually. Okay. You know, he could always enter into her room and say, babe, you know what? And remember, he's an
You're
uncle.
using babe though.
And remember, he's an uncle.
Okay.
That's what she was telling me. But finally, the guy, it was just because parents were around, but he wanted to rape her.
To use her sexually.
Yeah, to use her sexually. So you see that in the lockdown, COVID-19 itself made it worse, because girls were exposed to their pests, and which is really very bad.
And it is happening, I think, when it comes to sexual, the sex praise. It is happening more inside into the families. I mean, fathers preying on their daughters, uncles preying on their, you know.
I actually remember
is it the world ending
at the start of the lockdown. I remember this bike guy, the motorist, cyclist, motorcyclist. Yes. I remember him telling me, oh my God, what are we going to do? These women are going to kill us this time. Because I thought it's because of them spending so much time at home. And maybe, of course, they're like, maybe she'll not want you to just sit there when there is work to do at home or something. So it got me thinking, would they actually beat a man? Like, do you have scenarios of where a man has been beaten?
Yes, I think
because he really seemed scared by the way.
Yes, I think if
like,
you are to
oh
look
my
at,
God, what are we gonna do?
if you are to look in most African countries, I think the law is now more on the side of the women and the girls. That these days a girl can even scream when she's not beaten. A girl can do anything, and because of what has been happening to the girls, because of what is happening to the girls.
Yeah, that
nobody will
happens.
stand on the
But then,
side.
like, when it actually has happened, she could pretend, she could.
Yeah.
There are those. But then, like, when it is happening to you, as she should scream, yes. But then, like, do guys also be abused physically?
They are.
Tell us about it.
Guys
Like,
are
has
slapped,
that happened?
You find some women.
That's interesting.
You find some women, some wives, when they go back home, and they are the kings.
But
they
like,
are the
what?
queens,
Like,
Okay, they
what
are
are the
queens,
things
but
that you guys do that
they
would
can
cause a
pain you.
woman to beat you?
tells you lie down.
But what are the things that cause that? Like, what provokes me to beat my man?
Anything.
I don't have one, but
Men are so angering. They are so angering.
no, they are.
But
They
I
are.
think-
You guys are so annoying. But then, like, what would provoke me to beat a man? I'm not sure what.
It's not the same thing that would.
Yeah, you can.
Let me tell you what would.
If
provoke
I annoy
me.
you, why would
I'm
you
sure of
fight
what
me if
would
you have the
provoke
energy?
me
And you say lie
to
down.
beat
No, I cannot.
and
lie
maybe
down,
want
of
to
course.
kill a man.
Yeah,
I'm
why-
sure of what would provoke me.
Why?
You can ask what.
Why would that be?
Me finding a man abusing a kid.
Your
I would literally
kid or-
want you to die that moment.
You say lie down.
Not my kid. It doesn't have to be my kid.
But any kid.
Lie down! For a man who's abusing a kid, and I mean sexually.
But
for some of you
Andrew,
who
I think
haven't caught it,
when you talk
I would
about
want to kill you.
when you talk about why GBV cases are increasing, I think we need also to look at first of all the rising poverty. Poverty is rising, and when you look at it, most of the time, when you come back home, for example, if you are married and you don't have, for example, you've gone to work and you come back home and you've not come back with money. For instance, you didn't go well. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
We are known to
Didn't
be
go well.
hunters.
And then when you go back home, so the wife
You don't come back with a hunt.
yes, you go at home. So the wife starts to look at you as if you're nothing. Sometimes
Useless.
Yes, useless. Starts to look at you as useless, and then at the end of the day, whatever you're going to request or order at home will not be granted.
Your power is squashed.
Your power has gone down. So you find that even in bed, because we are talking about also one of the things that are under GBV is sexual abuse.
Yeah.
When you go to bed, I will also request for things, and you will say no.
Okay, so I'd like
You understand?
to.
So
say
that will
something
force
about it.
me to force it and say, please, let's do it. At the end of the day, you will say, I've violated your rights because I've had it without your
course,
permission.
without-
I'd like to say something about it.
You see, that is number
about that.
one.
Women will not just, or anyone will not just come to a conclusion after just one day or 2 days or just a week. Actually,
They're harsh women.
no,
They're harsh
listen to
women,
me.
sorry. Not
Listen to
women.
me.
They're
If
harsh
she
women.
knows how hardworking you are, if she knows how such a go-getter you are, if it happens for a week, if it's a situation that you can talk to her about, she'll not just deny you your rights. I'm sure she wouldn't. If that's the relationship that you guys have, if it is a relationship that you guys communicate, you guys talk about everything. Yes, these are hard times, babe. These are hard times. This is happening. This is not happening. She might understand, and she'll not necessarily refuse.
It's
or
a punishment.
deny you.
She may take it as a
Listen
punishment.
to me.
but
She'll
next
not
time be
really
serious.
just this.
The next time, be
I'm
serious.
sure
come
some
back with
women
money, because
will
these
not-
things are here for you.
That
But
is
they are
Arafat,
here
will
for
not
you
listen to me.
after you have paid.
Arafat,
So you are my husband.
seriously, listen to me. I'm sure some of them will listen to you.
What-
Maybe some won't at some point, depending on the relationship again, depending on the relationship you guys have. They'll not just punish you. No. They'll listen to you. What's causing this?
That's one point.
We have to believe that gender-based violence, so again, roots from homes, like where like,
Yeah.
it comes from homes.
Yeah.
That is where it roots from. After the break, we would like to delve more. What causes this gender-based violence? This is Open Up Africa.
Open Up Africa. Open Up Africa.
Welcome back from that short break, and the issue in the room is gender-based violence. Why is gender-based violence increasing even with this modernity, where people have gone to school? We believe they are learned, and why is it increasing? To me, just as before we went for a break, I believe it begins from the home, the way we are raised. There's a higher chance that if you're raised from a family where you were abused, or you are around people who are abusing, you saw your mom being beaten,
or your
you
dad
can either-
beating.
yeah, your dad beating your mom, or your mom beating your dad. Yes, it happens. You know, or your mom,
Or
your,
not
your
even
dad,
physically.
well,
They
your
could
dad
abuse
was
your
a
dad.
drunkard. Like most of the time, they will end up with these kids imitate their parents. So at the end of the day, they take.
You feel like it's okay to do that. at some point
They
in
kind
your
of,
life,
because they saw it, they kind of find themselves by default adopting to such. So I believe it comes from homes as well, and it is happening that it follows us from homes to schools. We are talking of gender-based violence. Even at schools, girls are bullied. You get it?
Boys are bullied.
Boys are bullied.
Yeah.
Female teachers are bullied. You know, when we're talking of education institutions, go to workplaces, gender-based violence. You look at a woman, no, I can't be led by a woman. You feel that most women are not managers. It's just changing that we have seen, like a country like Rwanda, we are seeing the parliament is generally composed of females, right?
Oh, now the new elected vice
Yeah, I mean-
president of the United States of America.
Yeah, I mean, things are changing. I mean, but if you look at most times, you have a female boss? How? You know, they feel a
Wow.
lady cannot lead.
People still think that way?
Why gender-based? We are talking of gender-based violence.
Well,
and
damn.
women, and
They
that
need to grow
disrespect,
up.
that disrespect, you know, that will, because you feel a woman cannot do this, a girl cannot do this.
A boy cannot do
Yes,
this.
there are some
yes,
families
but-
that cannot send a child, a girl to school.
Still?
In Africa, somewhere, it is happening.
But yeah,
Yeah, actually, Andrew, you've talked about something that I'm like, but the thing is, look at this. When you look at men, how men are being victimized in this category, or in GBV, what we're talking about, you find that even the legal system of some countries is not working well. Because, for instance, when you look at, there are some countries where, when a guy reports that he has been beaten by
A woman.
a wife, they will say, he's considered to be shameful
to be
in the
weak.
society,
To be,
in
yeah.
the society, and this guy will be experiencing all that
Shame.
and fear to go out and report the case.
It is true.
So you find that I think countries also need to come up and make, there's need for more awareness that, because people have took it to be like it's only for women, it's what
It's happening to women.
only
Of
happens
course,
for
mostly.
women.
It's
But
women
mostly
who
happens
Okay.
to women. But another case that is making it increase is that girls are more of cash. They want money. They want money
Quick
like
things.
nothing. Quick things. You find that, for instance, in our country, I think cases, rape cases are very high, and defilement cases, but all are coming from where? Most of them are coming from,
I'm trying to
from
understand that
from
point.
having the interest in cash. You find that a guy has money and invites you to come home, you are underage, and you would immediately go because the guy has been pumping money in you. You get it? So when you reach there, the guy can use you whatever he wants because you've come for money. You understand? You find senior 6, senior 4, 5, senior 4 or 5 at school. They escape schools and go to visit the guys. When they happen to have
question,
that from there.
Arafat, I have a very
That's another thing that makes it
crucial
also.
question for me right now. You having the money, right? You, the man that has all the money that the girl needs, and you're providing. She's not forcing you to give, right? That makes you want to abuse her. That makes you feel like you can abuse her.
What you have to understand, and in fact everybody has to understand this, whenever you are receiving free things,
Expect to pay
that
back.
free thing is a bet.
So,
There's a payback
again,
for that.
my
Most of
question.
the time.
You, the man, you're giving that money, right? You're using the money knowing that you'll get stuff
As
later
a
on.
bet, most men do.
Yes, I understand
Do you
that. But
deny
then
that?
does that make you feel like you need to force her to do
Now
something?
that is where the thing comes, like, because
Why are you
most
giving
men
it as a
do,
reason?
they most will think they are entitled. You get it? Entitlement. Even it is happening in the married, because he married you, he took you home, you don't have a job, he's bringing everything. I'm telling you, that's why these are things we have to look
that
at
makes
in
sense.
dating.
That makes sense.
We have to know, so that you know this partner who you are going with. Because at the end of the day, we hear husbands shouting at their wives, I bring food, I bring everything, don't I buy everything?
Yeah.
It means he has put you down.
He feels so entitled.
Yes, he's entitled. So it means he will make his way to anything. So women are cocooned in such in a certain corner because they are belittled.
I
They know-
totally agree. I understand where you're coming from. But then such men are like at the highest level of being dogs, I'm sorry to say. I'm actually not sorry to say. Because
No apology.
the same way you enticed or you brought a woman to you, right? The same way you convinced her. Why can't you do it for you to get whatever it is that you need physically? Instead of you feeling like, oh, this belongs to me. Because there is nothing good that comes out of you forcing someone to do something. Okay, I'm just informing you, man.
Of course,
Like,
I understand.
what good comes out of you forcing someone to do something?
There's no
Nothing.
good. I believe there's no
So,
good. Maybe at that time.
You giving her the money, she has not begged, she has not forced you to do it for her, by the way. We can do without you, man. Okay?
Of course, I can see. You
So
can do
I'm
without us.
yeah, but then me allowing to be with you does not mean you should feel entitled. I can leave at any
that is
point.
You know, we were raised differently.
That is just a point on the...
Yeah, so I was saying
couple.
such men are dogs.
Yeah, I believe.
And I'm not sorry to say. by
That
the
is
way,
just
I'm
a
not.
point to
That is
married
annoying.
couples.
Yeah.
But
And people
but
and girls
Who are
who
dating
just go because
Yes, and that's
the man
also,
has
you're
money.
right.
Let me
Girls-
tell you
You'll
something.
you'll
No.
be used
As you
in
said,
an
girls who
annoying
just
way.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, girls should notice that even when you're dating,
You'll
you
be
don't be
used.
let money or physical
Yeah, let it
possession
not
not
take-
be a bait for you. You have
No,
to.
you shouldn't.
Yes, I mean you should.
But also men too. Don't feel like I'm giving her this. I can get whatever it is that I want. No, you cannot. It does not guarantee that you will get anything you want from me. Because this is from me. Okay?
But
You
also-
are-
The same way I'm not forcing you is the same way you should not force me. You shouldn't feel like
Also
you can
fair
force me.
partnership,
I could get your money, by the way, today and I'll leave tomorrow.
But you know,
Okay?
it's
So
wide.
don't feel
It's
entitled.
wide when we talk
to the
of,
fact
of,
that
of
you'll get it.
gender-based violence. We're talking of that thing
annoying.
of still saying she's a girl. You know, that is
He's
all
a
abuse.
little boy.
Yeah, she's a girl. She's a girl. She's a woman. You know, that is all abuse because a woman cannot sit in a meeting and bring a suggestion that is tangible. That's what, even when she brings it,
That
it's
which
a,
offices
it's a
are
woman.
those?
But I
You
think
know,
also
this thing is happening.
I think also
Yeah, they do.
governments have
Rwanda
not well punished these people that engage into it. I think
That
punishment has
abuse
to be, yes,
people.
that
Okay.
abuse. I think punishment has also to be considered.
I think there's
high.
no talk. We haven't talked about it so much. We're not bringing it on the table to discuss it. Even when you say we talk of cases.
Do we even have advocates of these?
We have some.
But then, like, what are they doing?
Furious
We need you
feminists,
out
I think.
here.
Some feminists.
Not
stop
just
their
feminists too, but like we need people who can
Yeah, we
actually
need this
handle
to be
it.
down.
And
You know?
menists. They are there.
And what now?
Menists.
I
don't
we
know.
don't see it very tangible, as you say. I mean, but we need this campaign to really go on. I mean, to bring the abusers to book. And I think there's also that thing when rape happens. I know it is a dark thing, and I think we need a campaign to show girls, train them, sensitize them. Once you are raped, what do you do?
Okay,
You know, evidence goes away. They wash up the evidence.
How about
but
the same way as saying we need campaigns to show girls how to handle themselves? How about we show men how to not behave in that shitty
you're right
behavior?
But I believe.
But remember, there's something I want you guys to know. That
You teach a boy.
You're saying boys, yes, don't say men. Boys,
men do it.
Let it start from the family, parenting, raising a boy.
Yes, but also exactly the same campaigns you're talking about should also teach young boys.
I'm saying
how to
boys,
respect,
of course, because these men who are doing this, it means they are brought up.
Remember, culture has also taken over. As you know, like, culture still exists in some societies, whereby the patriarchal system of thinking that a man should be a man still exists.
A man should
and that man is raised in that.
Yeah.
He's raised knowing that he is a man. And if time comes, he's going to be a man still. He's going to be
aggressive.
Yes, to be aggressive, to intimidate, to be intimidative. You get it? He has to intimidate the family, he has to intimidate every girl he finds. You find that there are some societies which still think that if a man orders, he has ordered. You get it? The man has said.
Has spoken.
Which
yes.
man?
So that thing has to be considered, that there are people who still think that way, who were raised like that. So this is one of the factors that cases are still increasing, because they force for whatever they want, and they don't know that gender equality has come in.
So we need,
you understand?
We need advocates. We need people to actually.
So there is lack of sensitization, and I was also talking about this that, for instance, I will tell you that I'm not sure of the figures, but among the cases that are being reported in courts for defilement and rape, you find that a quarter of them are dismissed because of lack of evidence.
Yes, you're right.
Because of lack of evidence.
Is needed.
Because of lack of evidence. So these girls, they don't know exactly, if I'm raped, what exactly am I supposed to immediately do, so that I keep evidences.
That is sad.
Some women don't know that if you are beaten, you don't immediately go and wash yourself. You need to go directly to the police station or Rwanda Investigation Bureau or any other security organ to report and say, you know, this has happened on me. So those are simple things that people tend to ignore, but which are very serious. That can
so
make
after
it
the
happen.
break, we're going to look into your some of your comments. People have shared a lot of comments on this, on gender-based violence. This is Open Up Africa.
Open Up Africa. Open Up Africa.
Welcome back from that short break. This is Open Up Africa, and the topic is gender-based violence. We've seen it even in this modern age; it's increasing. Even with the education we have people have acquired in Africa, gender-based violence still rolls on. It's taking a hike.
Sadly.
And in this session, we would like to get your views on our social media pages at Open Up Africa. What are your views? Liz, take us through.
I will, gladly. So we have T. Bensano saying, I know of some young men who still treat their spouses like their properties. They tend to have this sick mentality that since they've spent so much money on their wives, then in return, women should respect and, they should respect their men's rules without questioning, which is what I think you talked about.
That is it, the patriarchal system I was talking about. There are some men who still think that they
He
own
said,
them.
I have invested.
Yeah.
They think they
You
own
know how
them.
many
They think
pieces
they
of
are
chicken
men.
and in you.
They still think that they are men and they are supposed to be accepted as men at home.
Yes, so this upcoming farmer says, I mean, she responded to that saying, and which is why I say we don't understand what bride price means. By the time one thinks they've bought another by paying by bride price, then we need to be educated more about it by the elders, since it is tradition.
But I think we'll have a session on bride price. I disagree. I think bride price should be scrapped off.
In a joking way, but
No, I
of
mean,
course
no, I
you
mean.
would disagree.
But actually,
I just don't want it. It's not because I'm a guy that it's more on the side of guys.
before dowries were not like we see it today. Dowries were just a thanksgiving
It's
to the
thank.
family.
Yes, thank you.
To the
And
family
I
that gave
actually
birth to the
still-
girl.
Dowry.
So,
I actually still
some
agree
men,
with
some
the purpose
families
of
or
it.
some guys, they think that when they pay the dowry, they have bought.
I know
the
they
lady.
feel like
It's
they
because
bought.
even I don't know where did that word come from?
No,
Bride price.
Andrew. First
Do you
of
see?
all,
Bride price. Okay,
but
dowry
also
is a bit
that is
decent.
just a name, or okay, yeah, that's just a title.
You
I
should
feel
be
like it
thanking
is a
the mother
thank.
to Liz. You
It
should
is-
not be taking it
Yes,
as if you
I
bought
thank
her.
you
cannot
for
buy
this
her.
lady.
Me,
Of course,
if I'm
to
to
you,
put
Andrew,
myself in
my
the shoes
friend.
of the parent, thank me by not mistreating my daughter.
You're
That's the
right.
best thing I will have.
But-
if I give you my daughter in the hand to take
So-
her for marriage, because
But that is something that is experienced after. You cannot experience
you.
the treatment before you
Plus-
go home.
plus,
But before you
Andrew-
take her at home, first thank me for having
Andrew.
raised her.
no,
No, let me say, Andrew, I
But
wanna
at
say
least you deserve to be thanked
Let
to.
me-
Your parents also deserve
Let
to
me
be
say,
thanked.
yes, thanking me will become meaningless if you.
I
go
feel like
and
Andrew
buy-
is saying in the sense that he really wouldn't want to pay the bride price. But also,
putting me,
you
dragging me,
as a
that
parent,
is throwing me
you,
under the
of
bus.
course I will. You as a parent, would you really just want to let your daughter go? And then when because it's not guaranteed that they will not mistreat your daughter. Or
There's no guarantee.
it is not a guarantee.
You can't even be
So you
mistreated.
just want to tell me, oh, me, I am so good. It's okay. Just take my daughter. Pay me by not
I
paying
think we'll
bride
have
price.
several
Pay it.
meetings. Me, if I'm a parent, hold several meetings with that side of the boy and bring those matters onto the table.
Andrew, that's what he wants for his time.
That's a
I give a seminar.
We are coming next.
Anyway.
Next show has to be that, I think.
So, Minister of Fraud,
Minister of Fraud.
yes, he says, why do we only look at the side of women? Why not men? If it is a gender that means that it should be both-sided.
Of course, even
most
men
men out there can say they are facing gender-based violence
course we
just
are, we
because,
can't say.
just for
Yeah,
protection.
that is the thing,
It's
that
true.
they feel ashamed
Yeah,
to
yeah,
share
to
that,
say
you
that.
know, my wife, I was fighting with my wife. Now, you cannot go and report that on police.
What makes you
Why,
think we don't?
why can't you report it? By the way, I need to understand this. Why can't you
No,
report it?
I'm
Because
saying,
of
I'm
the
saying there are people
seriousness
out
of the
there.
man.
For me, if you beat me, I will go and report that.
But then why do you feel the need to say it out loud? To say
Why don't
say
I
that
feel?
you no, why do you feel the need to say it? You know that you're facing so much violence and you need to say it out. So it is helping you, it is for you.
You're releasing
I mean, I'm
something.
trying to say something. It is for you, it is for your own good. You're gonna be dead if you don't say anything.
Of course, most.
You know, it is
die.
I
you
rather
that will
die.
die.
Some men say, I rather die a
with
man.
it, yes.
I rather die a man.
Well-
than living.
Well, y'all
Rather
can
than
rest
like a
in
week.
peace for all we care, really. So anyway, so Nico MP Soga says, when you harass or vilify someone, you not only disrespect them, but yourself too. I love this. Street harassment, sexual violence, sexual harassment, gender-based violence, and racism, all are acts committed by one person who does not have any self-respect.
Oh,
respect yourself
begins with you.
by you respecting others. That is how you gain your respect. That
Let's
is how
respect ourselves.
you get people to respect you. I love this comment. Thank you,
Of course.
Nico.
Yeah, that's very true.
So Justice 96J says, why women started working? When women start working, they forget they're still women. That's all. I'm sorry. What's that supposed to mean?
You are supposed to say some, I think.
Yes, okay, maybe. When some women start working, they forget that they're women. What do you mean they forget they're women? Do they forget they have like...
Yeah, I get what he's saying.
Why?
He's saying that because it is happening that most women, when they engage into
the corporate world,
and they think of making money, and there's some women who are making good money than their husbands.
a lot of women.
And remember, most women, when they start to earn good money, they start to think that they can even control the whole house.
Do you know what I like about this? Do you know what I like about this whole point?
They start to think that you cannot even say
Arafat,
anything
I'm trying
because
to say something. Do you know what I like about it? Because that's how men feel every single day. When a woman feels that for just once, and I'm not saying it's right, by the way. I'm not saying it's right. But when they feel that just once,
it is a problem.
boy, men are died. They've died, you know, they feel like, oh Lord,
Now I'm
this
dead.
cannot happen. This is a woman.
She
How does she
started
feel
to
like
work.
she takes over the whole house? First of all, she actually does. Do you know how? Because she's on cooking for you, she's on cleaning, she's on doing all that stuff.
why was she doing
That
it before?
is keeping you healthy.
No, why?
Now you all feel like
They no longer do that these days.
they take care
Most
of
don't.
such.
The
No,
problem
they-
is that
they
when she
actually
starts
might
to
not.
get money, she starts to drop things that she was doing for you. The cares. You know, we
Let
talk
her
about-
drop them if she's
That's why
giving you the money. Don't even.
That's why a relationship should be a
Anyway.
partnership.
She starts to
So-
call you that we are still in the meeting. That's around 10 p.m. That we are still in the meeting. I'm
It
coming
might be
in
another
2
That's
hours.
a problem.
No. Sometimes it's not a meeting.
It might be a meeting.
It
Then
might
she's
be, yes.
cheating
but
on you.
It might be as you've just said, but sometimes it's not. You
Okay.
know, because she's working, she's trying to bring, you know,
That's how she's forgetting she's a woman, though.
forgetting that she's a woman. It's a big explanation. I can give it to you.
Thank
because,
you. So, God Live A says there is quite a number of factors that are contributing to the current rise
What are those?
of gender-based violence, among them including lack of trust, which is what
Trust.
we're talking about, self-respect,
So
fidelity,
Coming back.
and rushed decisions, to mention but a few among couples.
Rushed decision.
That's a serious point.
Rushed decisions. What is wrong with me today?
Rushed.
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 Rush decision.
Yes.
Rush decisions.
Yes.
I think you should notice that when while dating. Yeah.
Rush decisions.
So, Nico MP
Thumbs
Soga says again, love has no gender, compassion has no religion, and character has no race.
Hey.
I think the race is due to the lack of self-respect. Self-respect, by definition, is a confidence and pride in knowing that your behavior is both honorable and dignified. I like Nico.
Oh. Oh.
Thank you,
Oh.
Nico.
This is a lecture.
Yes. So, God
Maybe
Live
for
A,
the
one
comment.
last one says, if you really commit to joining someone to be your partner, then you should commit to being trustworthy, love genuinely, and to those that believe in God, always pray together for God's presence in your marriage.
The Lord has to see
Also, learn to be faithful, even if your partner is absent. Learn to be faithful to them.
this. Okay.
That's it.
Open up Africa. Open up Africa.
Actually, GBV cases are still on the rise, and if we don't do something seriously, they will continue to go on. But the most important thing is we need to educate. Education is number one. First of all, educate yourself. As we talk right now, whoever is watching, please, you need to educate yourself.
See yourself.
First of all, educate yourself before you go to educate others. Educate yourself
Before
about
you
the
judge.
dangers and how GBV is, and then educate others about it. Then make sure that, another point is that you make sure that yes, you empower those that have the victims of GBV. Empower them. Try to empower them, educate them, so that they can get back to their life. Because you see, they experience physical. Some experience physical violence, some experience psychological, emotional, sexual, and all that, which sometimes may strike them away from what they've been doing, their normal life. Then we need to empower them back and then bring back them to families, and that's something which I think that is most important, that we need to ensure.
I actually think, first of all, like I said, you need to educate yourself, but also if you face such challenges, such unfortunate situations in your life, it doesn't really matter if you're a man or a kid or a boy. Honestly, it doesn't. I think you should speak out, because you don't know how many people you're helping out here. You don't know how many lives you're going to change by your story, or actually empowering other people to also come and raise awareness with these many other, people that either face it or, that face it and want to be heard. So it really doesn't matter. Please talk about it. Yeah, raise awareness, and it is okay. And to those that, do it, to those that are violent, please go get help. We're tired of people like you.
Okay.
Very tired.
Thank you, Liz. It all goes back to parenting. It starts with the home. How would you want your daughter to be treated? Start raising your son in a way that you want him to treat your daughter. Start raising your daughter in a way that you want him to treat your son, and how you want the world to be shaped. It starts with families at our backyards. And also, we should actually call on politicians and leaders. This issue has been kind of swept under the carpets. I don't know why, but it's a conversation that is not going on. We talk about cases and we make the alarms, but in your campaigns, yes, when you campaign, but when you come to your seats, it's not something that you front a lot. Yet, a society begins with a family. If families are shattered like this, it means we will not have a society. We'll have depression, we'll have crime, and this is all.
There is so much going on
now. Yeah. No, so I think that's my opinion when it comes to that. What do you think about that? We can continue that discussion on our social media. Hashtag #OpenUpAfrica at all social media platforms at #OpenUpAfrica. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Streaming. So with that has been that for today, but join us on other discussions next time.
Yes,
this
please.
Has been Open Up Africa. And this is a bye for now, and stay safe.